guys. Welcome back to the tribe.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so today's topic is the emasculation of men.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is actually a very, very, very controversial kind of topic due to the fact that there's so many different opinions on this, but it would be nice to hear our perspective.
Yeah, I think all opinions are valid in their own right, and we are entitled to our own, and you're going to hear it.
Right. But before we get started, the affirmation of the day is...
Yes, the affirmation of the day is, I am already who I wish to be.
I am already who I wish to be.
That's right, and we say this throughout the day to reprogram that subconscious mind. Let's go.
What was the turning point of men now feminizing themselves to fit into society? What do you think the turning point was?
I think us as humans, just beyond men, we're just trend based. Everything's trend. So if they introduce a trend, no matter how ridiculous it is, most people follow it because most people are bots. I think it's an agenda. So if there's an agenda and it gets introduced to the mind of society, even if the society isn't aware of the agenda, they usually just follow it.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is get a couple of stars or musicians or whoever they want to project that image, and most people are going to follow it. So I think it's just a trend, to be honest.
That makes sense. I personally believe probably around the 70s, 80s is when men started to become a lot more comfortable with their feminine side. I feel like in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, it was very much strong on this is your role and this is your role. And I believe it started to bleed over in the 70s and 80s with the makeup, with the tight clothing,
disco.
With the disco, where it was a lot more promiscuous.
More like fluid.
So like, you know, to see where we are today, and the biggest thing is, which I hate, is seeing a man with their nails painted. I mean, it's kind of like, no offense, like, if you could, like, I feel like that's a girl's thing. Like, if you could sit there and have the patience to wait, to have your nails be buffed, to be painted a certain color, I don't know, to me, it doesn't, and then you want to go on dates with a girl, like, it's just kind of like, it's just not giving.
Yeah. You can see the agenda a mile away, though. Like, it's like they put it in your face, like literally, like, here, look at this. It's like, why are you trying to switch the roles? And I want to just touch on really, really quickly.
Yeah.
You can express your feminine nature because these are expressions. These are not just, and they're not always physical expressions. I can express my feminine nature, which is intuition, which is the artsy side. That's male and female. Male side is logic. It's more dominant. It's different sides that aren't always expressed physically. Men are now expressing their feminine nature physically. You don't have to get your nails painted to express feminine energy. You don't have to wear a dress to. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Let me start with that. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But when you see that there's something government-wise backing this, when there's something media-wise backing and pushing it, it's one thing for it to just happen, but it's not just happening. It's being pushed. Media back and things like that. It's obviously becoming an agenda, and it's becoming political because the political agents are using this to say, hey, well, we're progressive and we believe that everybody's supposed. Yeah, you can believe that everybody's supposed to be able to express themselves a certain way, but when you put it as the forefront of your campaigns and you're campaigning for a small minority of people who say I have this sexual orientation.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the population? What about the men that want to be men, that want to express manly nature, and we want to stay strong, and we want to dress like men, and those things are being pushed to the children. They're being pushed. The opposite is being pushed to the children.
I noticed they started silencing certain people like Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels. Those were my favorite men to look up to, just because they had such a clear understanding of this is what I like, this is who I am, this is what I'm bringing to the
This is
table,
what I believe a man
and this is what I believe that I am supposed to be.
Mhm.
This is what I believe a woman is supposed to be. And you see that throughout the world in certain parts, especially in the Middle East. And a lot of people look at it as, oh, well, you know, that guy is a little bit more possessive, or, you know, he's controlling, or he's this. But it's just understanding certain roles. When you look at where we are today now in society, when it comes to men, when it comes to women, and seeing how it's so diluted,
Wow.
you can't really tell. I mean, you're
Who's the
asking,
man, who's the woman?
exactly, you're asking a trans, you know, woman, you know, if she's really a woman, and she's like, yes, I really am. And it's like the confusion and the craziness. It's just, it's kind of like, it's taboo.
Yeah.
Like, keep some certain stuff at home. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to know this. It's just kind of like, there's certain things, it's like, it's certain messages, like, you just keep it to yourself and stick with your own community. If that's something that you represent proudly or whatever, I personally believe that you should just celebrate it within your own community and not try to get others involved and put it on mainstream and put it in public forums for other people to see, because it's become so overtly perverted and disgusting. It's really hard. It's really hard to, whether it's go on social media, whether it's television, whether it's movie. I mean, it's literally everywhere. They implement it in some fashion everywhere. So it's like,
everywhere.
it's pretty, yeah. So it's pretty crazy. But there are certain parts of the world where that is not accepted, or it's you know, it's more of a closed doors kind of like conversation. It's not out in the open. So I respect places like that, because I personally believe that you shouldn't have to, as a human being, go based off of your sexual orientation. That shouldn't be the first thing that's being asked.
Yeah,
That
you shouldn't be
definitely
living life off of your sexual orientation
at all. Like, and that definitely shouldn't be something that you're asked for a job. Like,
at
it's
all.
like if you,
what are my pronouns? Like, what do you mean?
it's like preferences. I get it. That's your preference. That's your preference. But once it starts to get into the professional world, it starts to it's just a trickle down. It's just kind of like,
it's like like in all
it's
reality,
forcing.
these are private corporations that are being forced by government entities to implement things about sex. It's like this has become, like I said, it's become very political, and they're using, and we're very, we identify with identity politics in America. I'm black, white, gay, straight, Republican. It's all
Rich,
identity.
poor.
Exactly. So this is one identity that they're using. And at the top, it's like no policies are getting done. Nothing of substance is happening. All we're talking about is who I am. And is, if you make me feel good about myself, I'm going to vote for you.
Right.
Nah, this is the opposite of what politics should be. It shouldn't be identity politics. It should be policy politics. What are you going to do for me? Right. But people are so gone that if you tickle their fancy, if you make them feel good about themselves, they're going to vote for you.
Yeah.
Nah.
Segue. Okay, so the word of the day is preponderant.
Preponderant.
Yes, preponderant. Predominant in influence, number, or importance.
Oh. And to put it in a sentence, the preponderant influence of the U.S. within the alliance.
Nice one. Thanks. Yeah, it's just hard. You know, I just feel like because things became so hellish, it's now you're starting to see circus acts everywhere. You're starting to see people going crazy and doing like the most outrageous stuff and just wanting really to be seen and really for attention. And unfortunately, when it comes to looking at our community and seeing the puppets and seeing the people that are putting influence and them wearing purses or wearing tight jeans or wearing high heels or wearing boots and, you know, wearing wigs, wearing lashes, it's just, you know, it's just so disheartening, because it's like we're the only ones that really, I mean, some of us, we speak up about it, obviously, but we've become so conditioned to it where we've become so immune to it where it doesn't even, it's kind of like, oh yeah, like, you know, this person, Chris Brown painted his nails, oh yeah, like that's accepted. Drake painted his nails, Hello Kitty, oh that's cool. And it's like, wait, what? like, it's like, I'm like, is it just me?
It's a Twilight Zone.
It's a Twilight.
Yeah, it's the reverse.
It's definitely the reverse, and it's sick because you have children, you have the youth looking up, and they're like, oh, I want to paint my nails too.
I guess I could wear a dress. It's like,
I guess I could wear a wig. I think that would be cool.
I think that there's like we keep saying there's an agenda, but this one agenda is a part of other agendas. It's all about identity politics. It's no different than Black Lives Matter. It's no different than, see, like, you can kind of group the identity politics together. It's like Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, Ukraine, anything that's in that, it's just like one big group. And it's like, it's okay for you to be who you are. If you're gay, if you're straight, if you're bi, if you're lesbian, and that's cool. It's another thing to not realize that there are people that are using your sexual orientation as an agenda to push politics, to push things that have nothing to do with actual policy, so they can not show you what their policies are. They're yet literally using you as a distraction.
Your mask.
Even though you're doing, and you want, I understand that there is a fight against, gays and things like that. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you are in a time where those things are more accepted than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Now that they're being force-fed to people, people are starting to resist it. Yeah. People are resisting it not because you're gay, not because you're trans. They're resisting it because you're not but the establishment is pushing it down our throats. And now most of you feel like you're just it's like they put you in this, put you on this pedestal, and now you're looking down on the people that you think used to look down on you. So you're just in a reverse factor, and it's like, it's crazy.
It really is, and it's, it just goes back to, it's just really sad. I mean, here we are in American school system, they're teaching the kids pronouns and how to identify and how to, and then in other parts of the world, they're learning how to play piano and learning
physics.
Yeah, physics and how to garden at early young ages.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you look at how it trickled down and how it affected it's affecting everyone. And don't get me wrong, I have friends of that side, whatever. Yeah. But like, even with my friends, like, they know, like, yo, I'm not gonna be overtly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it is what it is.
I'm not leading with my sexuality.
I'm not leading with that.
Why are you leading?
If we talk about boys or whatever, I'm not going to be super explicit or whatever, because at the end of the day, I know that's not what you're about. Yeah. So it's like, it's just also, too, it's a respect thing. And I feel like a lot of, people lost respect for themselves and lost dignity. And, really seeing people, especially seeing men with their nails done. And I'm talking about full-on tips. Like, there was an Amazon commercial, one of the guys, he literally had painted nails. And I was just, I was so distracted.
Tips?
No, not tips. Just his nails was painted. I think it was painted white. And I was so distracted. I didn't even care about Amazon or the little promotion that they had, or, because I think it was around Prime Day. I just kept looking at his nails. And I was like, yo.
And that was by design. It was like subconscious. Like, ooh, like, ooh.
But it's like, let's get you even more comfortable. Like I said before, it's just to see men changing themselves and becoming more tapped into their feminine selves, and not seeing, like, for example, Steve and I, we finished watching television shows on Netflix. It's called Outlast. This is not sponsored. This is something that I actually enjoyed. And, most of the competitors on the show, they basically knew how to hunt. They knew how to fish. They were men. Talk about men. And, like, it was very attractive to see, because it's like, yo, like, I miss that. I miss, like, oh, listen, like, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna repair this. I'm gonna put you know what I mean? And of course, you do an amazing job.
I am sure.
But, like, just to see it all the way around, like, like, for me, it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's something about, like, a man being a man.
It's protection, provision. It's the things that men were put on the planet to do. Like, we're naturally stronger. We're naturally faster. It's just nature. Nature's doing what nature does. Who are we to try to reverse nature in our minds? This is the problem with the human beings in the first place, is we're always trying to get outside of nature. And then you can see it within our society, in our minds, are trying to be this and trying to be that. And it's all going against nature. Again, like I said, I have love for everyone.
Yeah.
It's not about the gay person or it's not about y'all. It's about the clear and obvious agenda that's being pushed down our throats and forced on us to the point where we can't say what we want to say because it's hate speech. It's not hate speech, it's real speech. I'm just speaking real how I feel.
Silencing.
Exactly, within myself, within herself, expressing how we feel, and that's never going to stop.
Yeah.
The reason why we're here is to express ourselves, express how we feel, and you as well.
Yeah.
But there is a machine that's trying to force your expression on the rest of the world, not just America. You can see this mirrored in every other country that's with America. The United States, you got Canada, you got Australia, you got England. If you look at all of these places, and if you're from these places watching, you know what I'm talking about. All the agendas that are happening in America are happening in these other places, whether it be the LGBTQ agenda, whether it be the globalist stay in your house, 5 minutes, 13-minute city, all of that stuff is like happening right before our eyes. Like I'm gonna speak up on it. I know she was ready.
Being aware of it, protecting yourselves, and not necessarily falling into those trends. It's very easy to fall into those habits because of the people that's around you. But really using discernment and not going with the trend. Oh, he got his nails done. I'm not going to get my nails done.
Yeah.
Okay, he's wearing tight jeans. I'm not going to do that. Okay, he has so much jewelry where he looks like a female. I'm not going to do it. It's just certain things. It's kind of like simplicity is so key.
Yeah.
And I personally, and like I said, especially within the hip hop community, I believe it's been so flamboyant in your face where it's like it's hard to even listen to the music and respect the craft because of the flashiness that's going on.
And they're pushing it. It's like Lil Uzi Vert, and like you can see that you can see in his physical that there's a voice in his head that's telling him do this. You can tell it's not even him. This is not how, bag, and then I'm like, bro, like this is not you. You have a girl, like. So why are you doing this with the joint? And you like my outfit? Like, bro, this is not you, bro. Who is making you do this? Who is putting this in your ear to push this to the people? And you have a woman. That's insane to me. And again, with all due respect, I love all people, but when you're disingenuous, your intentions aren't pure. This is not who you are. So who are you displaying to me? Right. You're displaying to me a character that was built for you, that was written for you, and that is deception. Right. That is evil.
And that's what we're living in. Yeah. We're living in hellish evil times.
Right.
So it's like, but you're seeing
but also divine times.
And divine times, of course, because that's a yin and yang.
Yeah.
But, you're definitely seeing the destruction of, or you're seeing the more hellish ways, whether it's in movies, whether it's in TV shows, whether it is in fashion, whether it is in business, politics, government, whatever. Like, you're seeing it in all aspects, all, all organizations and really all fields. So it's like, when you really take a step back and you really say, wow, like, where can I go? Like, where can I seek this kind of guidance? When you really look and you really see for like how these men are nowadays and the way that they present themselves and the way that they carry and the way that they talk and their mannerisms and stuff like that, I'm just like, whoa, like a young child who does not know the difference would think that that's okay, would accept it as normal because they don't know. They're not able to see and have a display of what a real man is. And then what happens is it goes into a cycle, and it goes into a cycle, and it goes into a cycle. And now this is now generations after generations after generations of just damage.
And confusion.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the phrases of the day.
That's right.
So the first Spanish phrase is no tarjeta de crédito.
No tarjeta de crédito.
Perfecto. And that means no with credit card. And in Portuguese, the phrase is não com cartão de crédito.
Não com cartão de crédito.
So não com cartão de crédito. Não com cartão de crédito.
Beautiful.
It's a difficult one. Portuguese is difficult, but I love it.
Yes.
So every time we pronounce and we enunciate, we practice these words, we get better and better over time. We just need to do better. We need to do better as a community. We need to do better as a people. We need to hold people accountable. People also need to hold themselves accountable. And really look at other alternatives and ways to express yourself without bleeding and going so public to everybody else.
Yeah. That attention-seeking energy. I mean, do your thing, have fun, live your life, be free, but be aware when you're being used. That's really my take on it. Be aware when you're being used. And, I love everybody. Express yourself. But at the same time, I can see an agenda a mile away, and there's an agenda, and I'm not going to lie about it.
Thank you guys for subscribing to our channel. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share it with your people. If it's something that vibrates with you, let's do it.
And until next time, stay tuned.
Ooh.